Hey guys, and welcome back. So for today's video, I thought I would get on here and do a fun little full face of all M.A.C products. As some of you guys know, I do work for M.A.C, so I do accumulate a lot of makeup in the run of like a year or a couple of months. So I do have a lot, and I do wear M.A.C almost every single day, except for some of these quarantine days when I literally wear nothing or something very, very subtle that might just be a quick little something from the drugstore. But 98% of the time I do wear mostly M.A.C makeup. So yeah, I kind of thought that I would get on here and show you guys a more in-depth video, because I did post like an IGTV little video of like a lot of my favorite M.A.C products over on my Instagram. If you want to go check that out, it's like a little 3-minute super quick little video of, again, pretty much a full face of M.A.C product, I think, except brows. But if you want to go check that out and see what products that I'm using, you can go check it out there. So the first thing that I'm going to apply is going to be the Strobe cream. This is in the shade Gold Light, and what I really love about this is you can apply this almost like a moisturizer slash primer to your skin. You can also use it over like your makeup when everything's done, and you can kind of dab it on as like a liquid highlighter, so that's really good too. But I'm just going to use this almost as like a primer. So I'm just gonna take some on my fingers, and I'm just gonna apply these with my fingers all over my face. So my cat just jumped up on my desk. You've never done that before. Why are you doing that? Say hi. Her name's Molly, by the way. You probably can't see in camera, but that gave me just a very subtle sheen, and you can probably apply a little bit more if you want to kind of build it up. So next I'm going to go in with foundation, and this one is one of my favorite foundations in like all of the foundation world, I guess you could say. This one is called Face and Body Foundation, and this one is in the shade N1. And why I really love this one is because it is a sheer to medium coverage, and you can really build it up, but your skin still really looks like skin. So if you are somebody who likes completely matte, completely like full-on coverage, you might not like this as much. You might want to go with something like a little more heavier and a little more full coverage. But if you want kind of like a dewy texture, and you like your skin to still look like skin and something that looks a little more natural, I would highly recommend the Face and Body Foundation. So again, that's in the shade N1, and I'm just gonna apply this with a brush. I'm gonna apply this with a Morphe G6 brush. I usually like to use like a sponge, but I think I'm just gonna apply some of this first with a brush, and then I'm gonna go in and really push it into the skin with a sponge. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, it's like really not blended in, but I'm just gonna go and put some on my InStylish sponge. So this is like a lot better just to kind of push into your skin. The reason why I love this one is I'm not a fan, like on me anyway, when you have, like when you apply foundation and it's completely flat looking, like you can't see any like anything on your face. I'm not really a fan of that because I find it looks so unnatural. But I mean, if that's your thing, then go for it. But again, if you really like something breathable and dewy and like a little bit luminous, I guess you could say, I would definitely try this guy. I find that guy does not get the hype that it deserves for such a really good foundation. And you can keep building this up if you want to, but I'm just gonna keep it there because I'm pretty satisfied with that so far. So next I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite concealers of all time, and this one is the 24 Hour Studio Fix Smooth Wear Concealer. I really love this. Others in the past have compared it to Shape Tape. I don't know if I would compare it to Shape Tape so much because I find the product is definitely different. If you are a fan of wand concealers and you like kind of like a nice, I guess, thicker coverage, you will definitely love this one. This one is in the shade NW22, and I'm just gonna apply some to my under eyes, and also I like to apply some on my lids. It kind of acts as like a primer for me, and I just like to kind of pull it down just kind of everywhere on my face just to balance out some pigmentation. And this one does not crease on me like at all. It is so good, and I went like working 12-hour shifts with this. didn't budge, didn't smudge, didn't do anything. So it's a really great concealer. So I'm just gonna go in and press that into the skin with the same beauty sponge. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to set the concealer that I just applied, especially under my eyes, because if I don't set any concealer, not just that one, but literally any concealer, it will start to crease a little bit on me because I do have like kind of large under eyelids, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go in with the Mineralize Skin Finish in a Light Plus, and I don't know if you can see, but I definitely hit pan on this. I use this guy a lot. So I'm just going to go in with a Real Techniques, what is this? Real Techniques contour brush. I just find this one like a nice size to kind of get under my eyes. And I'm just going to set under there and just kind of tap it just where I would think that the foundation might slip off like a little later. Okay, so now it's time for brows, and the one thing that I don't have in this whole entire video is like a brow pencil or a powder by M.A.C. I do have this new guy. This is the Eyebrows Big Boost Fiber Gel. I'm going to apply this over some powder that I'm going to apply, but what I'm going to use is I'm just going to use like a regular old like powder, just something that I can find. I'm just going to use this old one by BH Cosmetics. I don't think you can get this anymore, but I'm just going to go in with one of the shades in here, and I'm just going to fill in my brows a little bit, and then we're going to go on top of it with this guy. So I'm going to do that off camera, so I will be right back. Okay, so that's a pretty quick run through of my brows really quick. It's super patchy, but that's okay because we're gonna go in with this guy, and this stuff is amazing. I had a couple days to play with this now. Like, I haven't really used this that often, but I played with it because this is part of like a recent order that I just did. I know I should have done like a brow pencil, but I didn't realize that I ran out of the one I had, but that's okay because we're gonna go in with this. So this one's amazing if you want some extra, like, I guess, volume in your brows. Like, this is so good, and it really helps build up your brows. So if you are somebody who kind of deals with sparsy brows or like over plucked brows, this stuff will be your best friend. So the shade of this is called Fling, and it's just like your natural cool toned taupey color. But when you take this out of the tube, you can actually start to see the little fibers, and it is so cool. So I'm just gonna start applying them into my brows like this. And the reason why I didn't like just to put them on without anything under it, such as the shadow that I use, is because if you do that, it does give like a super natural look. I love using this just for days that I'm home or days that I'm running to the grocery store and not really worried too much about, you know, my eyebrows looking super like sleek or anything like that. But like, seriously, for a natural brow look, this stuff is amazing. Yeah, so that's literally all you do. You just kind of comb them through your brows, and the little fibers really build up your eyebrows, and you can probably tell they look a little bit more fuller just after a couple of swipes. So not only will this give you fibers and volume in your lashes and a little bit of color, but it also helps set your brows because it is a brow gel. So it's kind of like an everything all in one. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with some bronzer. So I'm using the Studio Fix Sculpt in Shape Contour Palette. So this is what it looks like here. I love to use like a mix of these three shades in the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to take a Morphe R2 brush, and I'm just literally tapping into all three and just applying this on my cheeks and my forehead. I'm just going to put a little bit on my nose, and if you put too much, you can just go in with your sponge and just kind of balance it out a little bit. I don't like to go overboard with my bronzer. Like, I don't like to have really defined, chiseled cheekbones. I kind of like to let it look a little bit more natural. So that's why I like using this big fluffy brush. But if you wanted it to be a little more chiseled, you could use like a smaller brush, or you could go in and then bake like right under where you put the contour, just to kind of make a more defined line there. But I'm not gonna do that right now because that's not how I apply, you know, my everyday makeup when I'm going to work or whatnot. I kind of just do this exact thing. So I'm just gonna take another brush, and it actually rubbed off, so I have no idea what this one is, but it is from Morphe. I like to go in with this lighter shade up here. I believe it's called Emphasize, and I like to tap into this and I apply that under my eyes because I find it gives a really nice brightening effect. And I also like to put a little bit up here and a little bit on my chin. Just kind of focus it in the center where I didn't apply any bronzer. And now I'm going to go with blush, and you guys seen me use this color blush many times now on my channel, and this one is called Coppertone, and it's just a powder blush. I love this because it looks natural but without like super pinky shades. It just kind of gives you like a nice brush of color to your cheeks, but nothing too extreme. So I'm just using the Sigma powder blush brush, and I'm just going to apply that to my cheeks. And you can start to see what kind of color it gives off. It's not really super pinky, but it's almost like a natural, I guess, flush kind of look. So I'm a super big fan of that. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it there before I get carried away, because I can really get carried away with blush. So I'm gonna be trying like a new product today, like for myself. I have tried it before at work, but I haven't owned it before and done like a full look with it. So I'm gonna be using the M.A.C Liquid Dazzle Shadow in the shade Rayon Rays. So this is what it looks like here. It's kind of like a nice brown, coppery, glittery shade. I'm super excited to kind of tie this whole thing in with this guy. I love this so much, and they do have a lot of different shades. And what's great about this is it's literally like a one and done kind of like eyeshadow, and it looks so good when it's done. So I'm just gonna go in and literally just start applying this onto my eyelids. I'm not even gonna go in with like a transition shade because these do blend out when you like kind of buff out the edges with a brush. Like, look at that color, it's so pretty. I'm just going to leave it there for 1 second. I'm just going to go in with a Morphe E30 brush, and I'm just going to buff out the edges. As you can see, that harsh line that was once there is now completely buffed away. These are such good shadows. I love them so much, and I want more colors because they're so easy to use. Just going to go in and buff out what I have there. Like, look how good that looks. And literally, I never used any other shadow. Like, that's crazy. Apply it to this eye. I'm gonna go in and do the same thing. Like, seriously, look how good that looks. Like, I love, love, love this shadow so much. It is so good. Okay, so I'm not gonna apply that to the bottom because it's gonna be like too much glitter, too much sparkle, and I'm just gonna leave it on the top eye. But I am going to go in with some of my loose shadows, probably just like one shade or two. And I think I am going to go in to this shade, Swiss Chocolate. So that's this one right there. I'm just going to go in with a E45 brush by Sigma. And I'm just going to apply that to my bottom lash, just to give this some color as well. It just kind of looks like I took the undertone of this shadow and literally brought it down. So that is a bang-on match in my opinion. So I'm going to go with an eye pencil, and this is a M.A.C eye kohl. And this one is actually called Costa Riche. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but let's just call it Riche. And it's almost like a really nice, warm, chestnutty brown. So I'm going to take this, and this is what I'm going to use on my top lid. And I'm just going to pull my eye back a little bit and just apply this to the lash line. This is one of my favorite brown like colors in an eye pencil from M.A.C. I just love it so much, and it really complements blue eyes. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I am just going to smudge it out a little bit. So I am going to take a smudging brush. This one is the Short Shader by Sigma. This is a E20 brush. So it just kind of looks like that. It just kind of has like a nice little dense top to it. And I'm just going to go in and buff that eyeliner shade. And you can also go like this and pull it up a little bit, just so you kind of get a gradient of that color on your lid. So I'm going to do the same to this one. I'm just going to pull it up just a little bit, and I'm going to go in and buff that out. And you can keep adding more until you get like the desired thickness or color payoff that you want. And this is a great option if you are not good with liquid eyeliners or even just a lot like liner in general. I love smudging it out because it looks like you've done something, but it's not like that super thin, precise line. I'm actually going to go and apply this to my bottom lash as well, just to kind of tie everything in. I'm going to bring it down out of the waterline just a little bit and go in and smudge with this. So that's the eye kohl eyeliner done. So I really like the look how that came out. I find all these products look so good with that Dazzle shadow. I love that combo a lot actually. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a little bit of highlighter. I am just going to apply this directly to my cheeks, and this is soft and gentle. It is a mineralized skin finish, and this is what it looks like. This is one of my favorite highlighters, along with the double gleam, which I am going to grab in just a second. I usually do highlighter last, but I feel like I needed a bit of a glow just to kind of see how it's all taking shape. Okay, so now this is double gleam, one of my other favorite highlighters. I'm just gonna go in with that, and I'm gonna put some into my inner corner. And I'm going to use this under my brow bone. You can use any tiny little brush. This one is the Morphe Y22 brush. I always love to put a lighter color on my inner corner because I find that just opens up your eyes a little bit more. So now lips. I'm actually going to go in with Whirl lip liner. This is obviously like a cult classic favorite. And I'm just going to line my lips really quick. And you don't have to line your lips. You can totally skip this part and just go on to lipstick. I just find a lip liner gives a little bit more dimension and definition to your lips, and it causes the lipstick not to bleed. Going in with a new purchase. This one is the lipstick called Syrup. This one is also one of my favorites. I would wear it almost every time I was at work. And it's just kind of like a super nice like mauvey pinky color. So I'm just gonna go apply this directly to the lips. I'm kind of doing everything backwards in this video. I don't know why, it's just kind of what's happening, so I'm just going with the flow. I'm gonna go in with mascara now, and I'm gonna be using the Extended Play Giga Black Lash. This one is so good, and you wouldn't really think it by looking at the brush. The brush is so tiny, like look how skinny that is, but it's actually so good to get every little nook and cranny on your lash, especially the bottom lashes, and you can really build it up. So that's what I love about it. The wand is so tiny, but you have so much control. Like with this wand, I can literally get into like every little hair. Again, you have so much control. So that is how the lashes look with those coats on it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do the bottom one super quick. No clumps on the bottom lashes or little smears because it is such a small brush. And that's kind of something that I suffer from. If I use like a big brush on the bottom, I will get a smear or something on my bottom lashes. So now I'm going to go in and put some false lashes on. I'm using the number 76 by M.A.C, and I am going to do this off camera because it might take me a little while, so I will be right back. Okay, so those are the lashes applied, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this look off with some lip gloss. This one is one of my favorites. This is the Lip Glass, and in the shade Nymphette. It's like this light pinky with some gold like loose shimmer through it. Just gonna apply a little layer of this. And of course, no look is complete without Fix Plus. I have the lavender one. I love the lavender and the coconut. They're probably my favorite ones. So I'm just going to spray my face a little bit with this. So this is the finished look. So this is my look of using all MAC products, so a complete full face, aside from that little bit of brow scenario underneath the fiber boost gel. But aside from that, it is like 99.9% full face of MAC products, and I really like how this look came out. It is definitely up my alley. I absolutely love this. This is so easy to use, you guys. If you haven't tried out the Dazzle liquid eyeshadow by MAC, I would totally do it. So good. I will definitely be using this a lot more, and now I want almost every other color. So yeah, that concludes this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, just hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye!